All right, folks. Folks across the Farm Belt say ethanol is getting a bad rap from oil companies and really is not to blame for the high price at the pump. Farmer and producer Gary Niemeyer says less than a third of states require ethanol-blended gas, and ethanol makes up only about 3% of all fuel used in the United States.
And that's one of the things we're a little frustrated about is not only are we used as supplying a gas additive now, but we're also cleaning up the air, and we're not getting any of the credit for that.
He says the decision to stop using MTBE is more likely to blame for high prices at the pump. Niemeyer says that once states begin using the corn-based fuel, farmers can produce millions of gallons a year. He says drivers will eventually see a price break from ethanol, but he predicts it will be at least next summer before that happens. He says ethanol and flex fuels are being blamed by oil companies and people who don't know the facts.
How can we be the problem if each and every month we continue to set records of larger production?
He says drivers will eventually see gas prices go down because of ethanol, but he says it takes a while.
The fastest growing industry in the United States is ethanol. Okay, unfortunately, it takes about 12 to 18 months time frame to build an ethanol plant and close to about $100 million.
All right. With me now is Congressman Dennis Rehberg. Oh, I've got the wrong thing on the computer here. From Illinois, James, you're on the air.
G. Gordon, I've been a listener of yours for years, but I don't think you really understand what big oil is against ethanol because they don't produce it, they don't have control of it, and that's what they want to do. And MTBE is a poison that contaminates groundwater. A very small amount of it can contaminate millions of gallons of groundwater. Ethanol does not do that. It breaks down very quickly. So I don't think that knocking ethanol, it does not have quite the heat energy, but we don't have to have fighter bombers flying over Saudi Arabia or any other country to protect it either.
Okay. Now, when you say it doesn't have the same heat energy, what you're saying is that you don't get the miles per gallon out of ethanol you do out of gasoline, right?
Well, I've run E10 for years, and I've not seen a decrease in running E10. Now, the E85, I've talked to people. Some people see a 15% loss in fuel economy. Other people don't. I don't have a flex fuel vehicle right now, so I can't tell you for sure.
The scientists will tell you when they,
Well, but MTBE is made from natural gas, which is also controlled by the same company. So, I mean, of course, if they can't make and control the product, then they're going to put it down. But, I mean, in the long run, ethanol is the way to go. Look at Brazil. Brazil doesn't import any oil, and they run quite a few vehicles on ethanol.
Okay, MTBE, look, listen to me. MTBE is now a dead issue. It's not being manufactured anymore. And the reason it isn't being manufactured anymore is because the Congress, at the behest of the farmers, refused to give it liability protection. So they just said, "Fine, we're not making it anymore."
Yeah,
now, wait a minute. Wait. Now that they're not making it anymore, it isn't available to oxygenate fuel, as the law requires fuel to be oxygenated, and so they're going strictly to ethanol. The problem is the government mandated all ethanol, and the farmers are unable to produce enough corn to produce enough ethanol.
Enough corn for ethanol. It's the fact that the production isn't there yet, but the corn production is there. That's not a problem.
Well, the corn production may be there, but the ethanol production isn't there. There is not enough ethanol, although there's ethanol available from Latin America, the farmers have lobbied the Congress not to take off the big tax that's on that stuff.
Have been built by farmer-owned cooperatives, and that's one reason for the 54-cent per gallon tariff is to protect an industry that needs to get started in this country. But why do we want to import everything from everybody else? I don't have a problem with drilling in Anwar, although I've seen some very good research that says, why don't we save Anwar for when the Arabs run out of oil, and then we'll have oil when no one else does?
Well, we'll have oil when no one else does just because of the coal that's in our ground.
Well,
We've had it for 500 years. The Germans invented that process 65 years ago during World War II. And we've also got, huge amounts of Canadian oil sands and everything else. We're not going to run out of oil.
I understand that, but if we need to have an oxygenate to protect our air, why not use a homegrown one rather than a known poison as MTBE? I mean,
well, I told you, MTBE is a dead issue. They're not making it anymore. They're not making it anymore. What is an issue is there's not enough ethanol, and the farmers have kept a restrictive tax on foreign ethanol, and thus it has jacked up the
call
price.
Your congressman and ask that.
And there's a huge subsidy going to these corn farmers. I say if you want to have ethanol, fine. Let it compete in the market with petroleum, not be subsidized by the taxpayers. Okay. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for this hour of the G. Gordon Liddy Show. But I rule time, and I stand there and say to the tide, halt. Franklin does that. It's something he practices. He is a boat owner. Back with your calls right after these words.
This is the G. Gordon Liddy Show.